Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've posted, and I know that, and I am so sorry. I know that this is not quite maybe the content that you signed up for. I've been noticing I've been having a little bit more viewership lately, and so I just want to say first and foremost, thank you. um, I never really thought I'd ever get to 85 subscribers, but here we are. I know it's only 85 subscribers, but man, it's 85 subscribers. And I guess that means that there are 85 of you who are interested in seeing what I have to post. I mean, of course, half of those accounts might be bots, but either way, I'm still pretty excited about it. Anyways, let's get to the point of this video. I obviously I made this a long time ago. I actually made this around the Halloween season. So this painting was part of an art project that I had to do for my art class. And I really wanted to challenge myself with this project. I think the initial thoughts that I had with this project, I should first say what I'm doing here. So what I'm doing here is kind of just testing out these products because I've never worked with these mediums like this before. So I'm working with calligraphy ink, and then I'm using various different forms of additives to see how that's going to affect the calligraphy ink, which is made out of alcohol. So each one that is labeled, it has a different form that I've worked with. And on top of that, this paper that I'm using is called Yupo paper. I've never worked with that before. So I was kind of just seeing how I feel about it. What I'm doing here is I actually painted this prior. I guess I just didn't record when I was doing this, but I painted this the day before, felt pretty good about it, went home, lying in bed, and then I was like, oh my God, I hate it. 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 And I was like, okay, I need to start all over. So this is me like restarting again. Because the kind of colors that I wanted to go for was more like cherry blossom pink, and I was getting more fun colors, like not really anything specific. And my mind, I had very specific ideas. So I'm really glad that this cleaning ended up working out for me because it left like a cherry blossom pink behind. But yeah, original idea is not my fan. Um, what my original idea for this project was to kind of focus in on two different concepts that are completely unrelated. The first being perspective. I'm not a great perspective artist. I think in my mind I tend to think more surrealistic when it comes to art, and so I have a hard time dealing with that mathematical creativity. And I greatly admire the ability to do perspectives. So I wanted to work on doing staircases in a perspective direction. Um, Again, not my forte, but that's the last thing I end up doing. I'm saying a lot. Here, I decided with the each piece I do work with, I was going to do three different forms, and each one would have the color inspiration from a season. So the first one I'm working on is spring, if you did not guess already. Hence why I wanted cherry blossom kind of pink. My immediate thought goes to flowers blooming, comes to grass starting to grow again, leaves. So that was kind of my inspiration for this one. The next one I worked on, I think, was the autumn one, or more or less. I'm not sure. We'll get there in a second. Right now, I'm just kind of adding the colors and using a straw to spray. For each one, I also used a different form of material to manipulate the ink. So this one was just isopropyl alcohol, I think it's called, which I bought for health reasons. Don't recommend that. That was really painful. Uh, oh goodness, that was really loud. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, so I'm just adding colors here to kind of see what's going on. Obviously, it's the Halloween season, so I'm going through Supernatural. I don't really know if some of these scenes are really appropriate in the background. But okay, I'm an adult, and I hope you're an adult watching this, and I don't make my content for children. So anyway, Um, and there's no sound, so please don't copyright me. It's just showing scenes in the background because that's what I was watching when I was working. Please support Supernatural Company. Anyway, so here was kind of my idea with this is kind of just the perspective idea, but the color coordination of different seasons. So here was the coordination of that one, and this is the most fun one. So what I just put down, that white stuff, is actually baking soda. I don't know why I got this in my mind, but I wanted to do an experiment. I love, I don't know why, it's just oddly satisfying, I guess, watching baking soda and vinegar figure themselves out. You know what I mean? So, in my mind, I was like, well, first of all, is it like sanitary to add like alcohol in with baking soda and vinegar? And some people online were like, absolutely not. That's the worst thing you could ever do. I was like praying. I'm like, there's a lot of ones that say no, though. So I'm just going to go with the no. So here's me dropping little dots. I think that's also why I didn't do huge splurges of colors. I was very concerned about the health outcome of that. So I poured off the baking soda with a paper towel to make sure that if it expands, it's not going to go further because I don't want it to like leak onto the other paintings. And then I picked colors specifically on the idea of fall or autumn colors. And I added a little bit of like teal in there to add some kind of um, oomph, if you will. So yeah, laying down the baking soda and then kind of just rubbing it in a nice circle. And then I go in later with a spray bottle or a ketchup bottle with vinegar inside. And yeah, it was kind of just like an art experiment. And yeah, so we're gonna see how that works out. I don't know if I do it right here. I think I'm getting pretty close to it. Um, but in the meantime, oh here we go. So one of the things I guess I didn't really get this on camera, or maybe I do in a couple seconds, but as you can see, like it's starting to puff up because obviously baking soda and vinegar are like they interact. um, but it was also starting to feel a bit convoluted, like stuck in with each other, like it didn't feel like it was gonna move, and that was a big concern for me because I wanted the color obviously to move around. So I end up going back in. I think, yeah, you can kind of see the span expanding there. And then, yeah, I dabbed with a paper towel to kind of move that color. And honestly, I think that kind of saved the painting because if it just kind of stuck together, it would have been like really boring. And honestly, I think out of all the failed projects, it would probably be the next one. Out of all of these three, I think this one was the best outcome. Even the line work I do later, I just feel most proud about it. Um, and the spring one is very cute. But it's like, this one's kind of the best, the way it worked out. So, learned lesson, experimentation can really work out in your favor. But anyways, so what ended up happening is I think right now where I'm at in my life is I'm a little burnt out. It's not that I'm not making content anymore. I make videos so often with me talking about my inconsistency habits on YouTube, and I apologize every single time, and I feel like every single time I made false promises. I'm not going to do that here. Okay, so I should explain what's going on with this painting before I go on. So this one, I put out the ink in drops, and I think I was going for like more sunset colors, so hence purple, red, gold, blue, and some turquoise. And then I added in baby oil. And here's my learned lesson from this one. I should have mixed around the colors a little bit beforehand before doing any of this. Because once you added the baby oil, it kind of makes the ink stationary. So it didn't really end up having any kind of movement the way I was hoping it would. I still think it's a very beautiful ending result, but I definitely feel like it could have ended differently. And I would have probably loved it more for it. it's not to say that I don't love that one. I do love it. I love the colors. I like the way it turned out. In some cases, it ended up looking like an oversaturation of yellow, like when the sun hits a light too much. And so here I'm trying to move like the color, and I realize at this point that it's just not going to move because I didn't move the placement first. And obviously that's just because this is Yupo paper and I've never worked with Yupo paper before, so I really didn't have the experience to know how that would feel. Um so I guess that's my biggest disappointment with this one is just that. But other than that, like I loved it. So here's me calling it a day, and there's my next day. Mind you, I like thought that the assignment was due on Friday, and this was like a Wednesday. So I was like, I need to get this stuff done. You know what I mean? Also, I messed up buttoning up my painting shirt. That's still funny. Anyway, so I think in my mind I was like, I have to get this done by Friday. We're powering down. You know what I mean? And this is also like exam season, so there's a lot going on. Which leads me to finishing my previous thought. I think I've been really overworked lately. I've been very overworked for a very long time. We're having like, nice little close look. And I realized that there is way too much oil still on this piece for me to even go into it, because obviously I need to start painting the stairs, right? And that's just not going to happen if it's oily like this. So yeah, I kind of need to start wiping that all up. And then also trying to clear the space so that the oil doesn't like leak on my hand and then I accidentally transfer it to another one. Like obviously when you have a bunch of different chemicals, they can easily transfer, especially with oil. Oil just goes everywhere. So I guess the staircase for this, the first one I did was actually the summer inspirated one. Inspirated. Can this be a new word? Inspirated? Oh no, I guess it was spring. Okay, I guess the first one I did was spring. So, I think each one I wanted to have a different line work style. This one I think I wanted it to just be more not um thorough straight lines, but more or less mm, more just more. Yeah. Can that also be a phrase? um I think I just wanted it to be more not uniformed, but still have like a nice sense of line work. So that's kind of how I went with this one. And then obviously I kind of put a point in each of the paintings where I wanted the last line to be, and then eventually fade out. I think for stairs, this was one of the better stairs drawn. I think one of the stairs I ended up making it look like a bridge, and that was definitely a regret of mine, but whatever. YOLO, art is art, whatever that jazz is. So going back to what I was saying, I'm not making excuses for my lack of content posting. I'm just burnt out, I think. And I think on my downtime, I've really been dealing with a lot of mental health, motivational issues. It's been kind of exhausting, I think. I think I've been a little bit mentally drained since June. I haven't had a week off unless I'm sick. Um, I haven't had like just a week off for fun, since May. And then that was around the time Tears of the Kingdom came out. But since then, I've been working like every other day or I'm sick. And yes, we get 2 days off in a week kind of thing, but when I was working 2 jobs in the summer and then I started school and I was working 2 jobs and like in school for the first month, and then now I'm like only working my regular job, but I'm working 3 shifts a week and then on top of school. And obviously like it could be much harder. I'm not saying that it's not. I think I'm just, I've been in school so long and I think my brain is just tired. And so it's been really hard to find motivation in the things that I've been enjoying and, keeping myself preoccupied and well put together. So that's where my headspace has been. And also like I'm not doing this full time. Like this is not my job, so I don't feel too bad about it. Yeah, so you can see here with my line work, getting back to the painting. I think yeah, it was kind of like I wanted like there to be like a type of wave there, like there's a little bit playfulness in my line work, but still have the uniformity of like some kind of direction. Mind you, I definitely messed up on the shadows. They should have been opposite, but whatever. I'm making up lining here. I'm making up lighting here. So, especially since there's no specific lighting in this painting because it is like a pair of stairs just flying in space. um there isn't quite any reason in the direction that I'm doing this. So, the way I also wanted to paint these stairs is kind of like each one kind of point, like each one based on where they're like lining up with each other, they all go to one point. So I made the stairs, each one going opposite, except for the like the summer one. That one kind of goes more up, whereas the other one either goes like more right or more left. And this one I think goes more left and based in direction that it's coming from. Don't worry, I do switch the angle shortly because I realize that you can't really see anything here, but for now this is where we at. Going back to school. So yes, I've been really tired, I think. And it's not that I haven't been making content because obviously I made this and this is October. So I have been working on stuff and I've made stuff even before October that I haven't posted yet. But I do have intention to do so. I just haven't done it. Mostly because I have been tired. In fact, right now I'm recording my voiceover for this, but as soon as I'm done this, I'm going to write a 12 to 15 page paper on Karl Marx. So, I'm trying to make it work. I'm trying to, involve my interests into my art. I have so many ideas for YouTube directions that I can go with. Like, I definitely want to address, like, months ago, I posted a video about a Sailor Moon DVD release that I made. And my intention fully is to still make more content about Sailor Moon because I actually, well, I don't know right now I'm kept with the information about Sailor Moon, but at least 10 years ago I was pretty fluent on like history of Sailor Moon and stuff like that. I wouldn't say in the last 10 years I have been because I haven't really kept up with the community of the Moonies, but at least 10 years ago I was pretty upkeep with information about it. So, like, it has been always kind of an interest for me to talk about that kind of stuff. Like, my early videos on this channel was about cosplay and Sailor Moon stuff. I actually made, I think, one of my first videos. I don't even know if it's still up. I might have deleted it. But I was talking entirely about, this was before Crystal was made. I was talking about the translations, or not translations, the manga version of Sailor Moon versus the 90s version of Sailor Moon. So I was 90s version. They're both 90s. I meant like the anime versus the manga version of Sailor Moon. And one of my comments when I posted about getting the DIC DVD release of Sailor Moon was to make more content about that. And so my intention for future videos, I'm letting you know now, is to talk about, I lost my train of thought. I should say this, because obviously this is a painting video and this is not about me rambling. I wanted the line work because I was thinking of more Halloween season and because of the coloring on this particular piece, I wanted it to feel a little bit more spooky with my lines. So they were a little bit more etched. Kind of the kind of visual you would expect from, like, say, a horror film, like dark and kind of, I don't know, scratchy. I don't know how to explain that. So that was kind of my inspiration for that one. This one I had a little bit more hard time with because of the oil still being on the art piece. And so I really had to like add a lot of ink for this. And honestly, still right now, it's not quite there. So It's been a journey, my friends. This one. Um, Honestly, if I've learned anything, if I'm gonna work with baby oil again, I have to do a different process because it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. But overall, like I do feel pretty good about it. So, anyways, we're getting back into this idea. Anyways, I just kind of want to say that obviously I'm thinking about my viewership. I'm thinking about the direction of how I want to get my channel working. I'm kind of thinking, obviously, also about like what I'm going to do with this channel after school because I don't think I'm ever going to stop uploading videos. This is something that I've always been interested in since the day YouTube came out. I just haven't been like consistent. Like, I think I started uploading videos like my very first video I ever made. I remember being 19 and I'm turning 30 this week. I don't think I ever posted it though. And some of my earlier videos that I posted, I did eventually delete because part of it is I grew up and I think differently. And, the way that the internet kind of works is they'll find something you said, 13 years ago and hold it against you. And I think that just kind of stresses me out, you know? So, but also though, like, um, if I were to, like, this isn't gonna happen, but let's just say I went viral tomorrow, which is definitely not going to happen. But let's say it did, right? People instantly are very curious about you, so they want to know, you know, about you, and they're going to search and find you. And I think that I don't know. It's a thing about society that I think I have a hard time struggling with. But it's not necessarily anyone else's fault. This is just my own inner struggles, if you will. So, and obviously, you should not share this kind of stuff on the internet, but whatever. I think I'm just kind of in my mind being like, what if this is my brand? Like, obviously, I don't have a business right now, but if this was going to be my business one day, how am I going to represent myself? And some of the videos I made in my early 20s, none of them were wrong. I didn't say anything evil. I didn't cruel, like, what, I wasn't cruel to anybody. It's just, it's a different version of myself. And I don't recognize myself in that version of myself anymore. So I don't know if I said myself too many times. I'm sorry. But I just don't see yeah, I'm going to say it. I don't see myself as that person anymore. And I think that is a part of me. That girl is who I am. It's who I am and how I got here. But obviously, like, I don't fully relate to her anymore. And it would be kind of odd if, like I said, on the rare, almost like 1 to 1 millionth chance that I get viral tomorrow, it would be just kind of weird people looking at like my 19-year-old self and picking her apart because like I'm not her anymore. But also like that poor girl, like I feel bad for my 19-year-old self. Yo, in the chat, let me know if you feel sad for your younger self cuz I definitely do. Anyways, so we're getting close to the end of the video. I just want to like summarize that I am making more videos. I do have the intention to make more videos specifically on the content that I've already made. I have a plethora of interests. I like a lot of different things. I want to kind of go with like, I want to also in the future when I'm done school incorporate some of the knowledge that I've received being in school into my interests. So like I was thinking of doing an archaeology video on Legend of Zelda and doing movie reviews because I love talking about movies and I did a philosophy of film class and I thought it would be really interesting to kind of look at film in a philosophical standpoint. So these are kind of like the future of my channel, but I don't want to do it until after I'm done school because those kind of things I think are going to take a long time to finish. So here we are at the end of the video, and now we're going to look at my paintings all lined up against each other, and I'm just letting you know now that I have a future painting coming up I'm very proud of, and I will be posting it soon, but soon being a if word, so I can't say exactly. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I just want to say I hope you have a good day. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I just want to let you guys know that I think about you. So, yeah, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. Bye now.